Awesome. We did it. We did it. Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, let's just pull this up here. We're going to start. We'll all start at the same time, and you'll see when I start because you'll hear me speak. Okay? All right. Viewers, hello live viewers on the phone, hello live viewers that are coming in, hello Tempa, hello Rebecca on the phone, hello Dell on the phone, hello Dell on the scope too, hello Marcy, hello Mary, welcome everyone. There's all these people coming in. Hello Tempa, great to see you. Live Your Balance is in the house, and Marcy's in the house, Jay is in the house, good to see you. We are looking at the title of A Course in Miracles. You got the Power of Now book. Awesome, Mary. Good for you. Yay! Hello, Tix Rivera. Good to see you from Texas. And Australia's in the house. Australia times 2 is in the house. Chelsea's in the house from Los Angeles. Good to see you, everybody. Great to see you. All right, so let me turn this around, and we'll get going. See my face. The people on the phone can't see my face. Well, actually, some people can. So good to see you, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you happen to be.
Hey.
I think that hello. It's good to see you.
Hey, Matt.
Sparkle, are you here?
Yeah.
Sparkle is seeing me.
I'm here.
It's great. So welcome, everyone. My name is Matt Ryan. I'm a spiritual teacher, a law of attraction trainer, and a coach, and I'm an intuitive. And what we do here is, Sparkle is there, good, is that every Wednesday night at this time, we work on a book called A Course in Miracles. If you're new to A Course in Miracles, just hang out with us. I'll talk about it a little bit more. Some people are new. We'll talk about that. And some people have been doing the Course in Miracles for a long time. So, cut that out. Oh, my hair, I know. Thank you so much. Hey, Aaron's in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, here's the deal. Is that a lot of times I don't even look at myself in the mirror, and then I look in here, and I'm like, yikes, wow, look at that hair. So, good to see you, everybody. Thank you. So, hey, Janine's in the house. Awesome. All right, so what we like to do here is, so all you scopers know, we have the Skype line right here where people are on the Skype line. We've got 3 people, Belle, Rebecca, and Sparkle. Is there anyone else here on the phone? No. Okay. So we have them, and then we also have stop, everyone. Enough about my hair. Thank you for those hearts. Okay. So we like to start with a prayer here because from A Course in Miracles point of view, any really serious spiritual path really puts so much emphasis on the power of prayer. And prayer is the medium of miracles. So we'd like to start with a prayer, and then we are going to be reading part of the Course in Miracles. And so it'll be about a half an hour, maybe a little bit more. And that's it. You'll know as we go along, when we read from this book, we'll know what's happening. So, everyone, please shut your eyes right now. Take a big, deep breath. Dear Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, Universe, all that is, we come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love and support and guidance for every single person here. And we ask this time that we are here together be spent in the highest vibration of love and the highest vibration of the truth. Take a deep breath in this moment. And together we say, thank you very much. So it is.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for inviting followers. Before we get into the bulk of our work today, if you know anyone that needs some peace in their life, you might want to invite them to come onto the scope right now. It would be wonderful. So we will, and if you're new to A Course in Miracles, I'll talk to you about what it is right now. And everyone on the phone can just hold on for 1 second. So A Course in Miracles is a spiritual mind study program. It's a spiritual mind study program that uses how we are thinking to bring us back to love. You see, my shirt is, it's all about love. Because only love, from A Course in Miracles point of view, only love is real. So, well, everyone's talking. Okay, she's already here. Okay, good. So here's the deal. The Course in Miracles is not a religion. And people from all religions and no religions do or read A Course in Miracles. And it is all meant to move you and us from an orientation of struggle, anger, sacrifice, guilt, and fear to an orientation of flow and peace and cooperation and love. That's all it's trying to do. The only goal of A Course in Miracles is our inner peace, So that's what it's all about here. But sometimes from A Course in Miracles point of view, we have something called the ego. And not from a Freudian point of view, but from the Course in Miracles point of view, we have the part of ourselves that thinks with competition, that thinks with sacrifice and guilt. And that's the ego part of us. And once we start to remove those parts of us, the layers of those parts of us, we start to really connect back to the love, which is the connection with our source, which is the connection of us with God, if you want to say it, with the divine, with the universe. And when we do that, and when we heal that connection and we come back to one, that's when we have true inner peace. So I hope that that makes sense. That's what the Course in Miracles does. And there's 3 books in A Course in Miracles. Today. And then the middle part are 365 lessons. And then the last part is the manual for teachers. There's a little bit of other things in there too. But that is the basis of A Course in Miracles. It's a very big book. I have been reading and studying, if you can tell, this book for 31 years. For me, it's my path. And when I found it, I was about 19 years old. A friend of mine, I had been really on a spiritual path since I was very young. I studied Buddhism, I studied Hinduism, I was born a Catholic, all of these other things. And then one day, a friend of mine said, hey, we go to this lady's house and we read this book, and I think you'd really like it. And I was like, okay, let's go. So she was in L.A., and I grew up in Los Angeles. And so I went to her house, and we started reading this book. And there was something about this book that I said, oh, this is the perfect kind of in-between of Eastern Hindu and even Zen philosophy and Western kind of spirituality. And it was called A Course in Miracles. And the woman that was kind of leading the group was a woman named Marianne Williamson. So Marianne Williamson, if you know, she's a very famous author. And she wasn't really, I think she was doing very little bit of speaking at that time. She was actually a lounge singer, a lot of actors there. And now she's pretty much well known for writing about A Course in Miracles. So that's kind of my study every day. I read it every day. It's what I come back to all the time. It is, the philosophy of A Course in Miracles is basically this. Only love is real, and nothing unreal can be threatened. So only love exists. So, and that sounds really hard to get from the ego point of view, but as you read it, as you do it, you begin to shift your vibration. And your vibration starts to become one of peace and joy and seeing that we are not a body, we are spirit, and everything really is love. Okay? Awesome. So does that make sense, everyone on the scope? And anyone on the phone, or on scope, do you have any questions about? Okay. Yes, I love it. Awesome. Good. Marie, my favorite name. Okay. All right. So what we do here is we share a little bit, And the people on the phone are going to share first because we can hear them. So we're going to share with them. Yes, you have to study it in a group, or you can read it alone, Aaron. You can read alone. But from my point of view, it's very hard to do it on your own. It's very hard to stick with it because as you get into the text of A Course in Miracles, hey, Justin, it can be very confusing. So sometimes it takes doing something with somebody that's been doing it for a long time, like me, or just doing with other people so that you can reflect on what does that mean? Because literally some parts of it you'll go, what the hell is he talking about here? What is going on? People, or even just have me here to help you to understand it. Does that make sense? Good. All right, let's go to the phone.
Yes.
We have Dell, we have Rebecca, and we have Sparkle on the phone. And this is where we share a little bit, because in the Course in Miracles it says that, witnessing our brothers and sisters basically is to prove that there's only one of us here. There's only one of us here. We think that we're separate. We think that there's a body, but there really isn't. At source level, there's only one of us here. Oh, thank you. Thanks, man. Okay, so here we go. We're going to share a little bit, and it can be anything. We're going to go to the phones, actually, because it's very hard to share in the text. So we're going to go to the phones first, and I will share first really quickly. It can be anything. I would say that I wanted to share this, that, and some of you on Scope and even on the phone know this, is that last night I had an amazing experience because I created a tarot reading show, and it was on Parachute TV last night, and it was a great success. There was amazing love there. There was amazing energy there, and that they've accepted my pitch, and that I will now be having my show every Tuesday night at 8. And I woke up this morning to the email saying, we love the show. They gave me a couple little notes, but they just loved it, and they would love to have me part of the schedule. So that was just a beautiful thing and a beautiful way that the universe, thank you, Tammy, the way the universe was really great. And from a spiritual point of view, everything that I've been doing for the last, 3 months on Periscope has been all my intuition. It's all been my intuition. I've just been like, I have no idea why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this. All I know, thank you so much for all the congratulations. I really appreciate it. But let's look at this from a teaching point of view. I didn't know what it was. Thank you so much. Here's the deal. I didn't know really what Periscope was. But something inside me said, aha, you need to go for this. There's something here. Thank you, Sparkle. Thank you. I know. Yeah. We're inspiring each other. And I followed that, and I'm continuing to follow that because still there's something, and some might call that the still small voice for God. And I hadn't really had that in a long time in my business and in my life. And I was like, I'm going for this. And it's all bearing out because I'm meeting amazing people, and it's just a beautiful experience. So last night was a wonderful thing, and also just amazing things have been happening because of reaching out to Periscope. We trusted something that was going to happen. Yeah, that's right. I did. So that's what I'm going to share. Let's go to the phone. We have Sparkle, we have Dell, and we have Rebecca. So who would like to go first with what you want to share? Don't all jump at once.
Max, I will. The Sparkle.
Okay, Sparkle. Sparkle's on the line. Go ahead.
It's been just about a year that I went in the hospital. I had something called, it was hypoxia happened to me while I was in the hospital, and I lost oxygen to my brain for a while. And while I was in that state, I had a lot of fear, and I'm like, where are you, God? I've been seeking you my whole life, and now I thought I had died. Actually, I couldn't respond to anybody, and I heard the very still small voice say, "You created this, and you can uncreate it." And I realized what he was talking about was the fear. I was seeing through a lens of fear, and so I created everything that was scary to me. And I realized then that I could look through a different lens, the lens of love, and everything changed. When I finally came back, my brain got enough oxygen and I was able to communicate and talk. I was just telling everyone how much I loved them. I went from being the most obnoxious patient. I refused to take the prednisone because I didn't want to gain weight. And to loving everybody, hugging everybody, telling them how much I appreciated everything they did. My lens changed from fear to love, and I could see how we can that's the shift that the Course brings us to, from fear to love. And everything we see, we create. I mean, we can change our lens and change everything. And it's just been a year since I went through that, and it's starting to just affect everything in my life. That I just now, if I start to have negative thoughts, whoa, I just stop them and make another choice, and I don't have to stay in that place very long.
Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful testimony.
I'm feeling
Go ahead.
Motivated by everything that's going on with the whole Periscope and all. It's wonderful.
Oh, I love it. You know, I'm telling you, Sparkle, it's like, what a great testimony. People are saying what a great testimony. They're saying, I love this. It's great. And it's so true, you know. We are the example. And, when we're put in a certain position in our lives, we have to make a choice. And I always say that, this book right here that we're working on, this huge book, just keeps going, choose again, choose again, choose again, choose again. What are you choosing? Hi, Jen. What are you choosing? Right, Sparkle?
Right. That's all it is. I want to see differently. More than anything, I want to see. Yeah. And I do. I want to see.
That's right. I want to see things differently is one of the lessons in A Course in Miracles. So when we have that little willingness, we can shift everything, right, Sparkle?
Yes, we can.
That's
the miracle.
Well, thank you for the testimony, Sparkle. Give Sparkle a round of applause. I love it.
Thank you, everybody. And Dale, I loved seeing you last night.
Oh, thank you. I love it too.
Great. Yay, you're getting a lot of hearts and a lot of claps. Good. Okay, so let's move on. We have Rebecca and we have Dell. And Rebecca, you haven't been on the call before, so you can say whatever you want. You can say nothing, and it's okay. Everyone's saying nice to hear Sparkle's voice. So Dell or Rebecca, would you like to share something?
I just really enjoyed your story, Sparkle. It's so inspirational, and I just love it. So thank you. And I want to just add on to what Max said with, tonight I got Max's email, sort of like reminding everyone on this show that when it was coming, and something inside me and sort of my intuition said, I just really need to hear something and I just moved to call. So there's a reason, there's probably something I need to hear. So here I am.
Well, welcome, Rebecca, and good for you for following your intuition, because you know what? We're going to read The Forgiven World today, and it's one of the most beautiful sections, and I'm sure that everyone here watching, and please stay. If you're new to the scope, listen, here's the deal. My name is Max Ryan. I'm a spiritual teacher, a law of attraction trainer and coach, and I'm intuitive. We're working on A Course in Miracles today. We're going to be reading a beautiful section from it. So if you can hang out for the next half an hour and hear this work, I almost guarantee you your whole vibration will change. It's beautiful. Yeah, listening to your intuition. And Erin says it's not always easy to trust your intuition. And that's true, isn't it, Rebecca? Not always easy to trust. Yeah, not always. But you did, and that's what's important. Good. All right, so Dell, what would you like to share with us? And Dell is on scope, too, and she was doing reading.
Yeah. I'm actually guided to do those scopes last night. I felt so drawn to doing them that it just turned out beautiful.
And I just followed Spirit and, you know, and did it. Like, I've always followed through with it. And, you know, other things that happen kind of prevent that. You know, like recently I had to replace my phone, so I wasn't going to use my Samsung. So, but it's all good now. Everything's flowing. And more things are coming.
More things are coming. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got all these testimonies about following your intuition, because in a way, you know, it's like, in a way, Sparkle was forced to follow her intuition. We're all following her intuition. I love being my Periscope mighty companion. Thank you so much, Sparkle. That's so sweet. And so it really is about that. So thank you, Dell, and everyone follow Dell. Dell put some emojis up there, because Dell does some really sweet, nice card reading. So please follow her. Oh, I see a star. Thank you so much, Justin. I just want to do something.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. So we are now going, Dell gave good readings. I know. All right. So I'm sorry. I just need to move this. Something. Okay. Here we go. So everyone, this is what we do. We're going to read this section. There's Dell right there. This section from A Course in Miracles is called The Forgiven World. Some of A Course in Miracles is like poetry, and some of it's very direct. This section is like poetry. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing, and it's called The Forgiven World. It's in chapter 17, and we are all miracles, Justin. You're exactly right. We're all miracles. So what we'll do right here, if you have A Course in Miracles, we're on chapter 17. We're in section 2 called The Forgiven World. Okay? So I'll read a part of it, then we'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Okay? So everyone just take a big, deep breath right now. And let's read The Forgiven World. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? How beautiful those who you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely. Nothing you see here, sleeping or waking, comes near to such loveliness. And nothing will you value like unto this, nor hold so dear. Nothing that you remember that you made your heart sing with joy has ever brought you even a little part of the happiness this sight will bring. For you will see the Son of God. You will behold the beauty the Holy Spirit loves to look upon, and which he thanks the Father for. He was created to see this for you until you learned to see it for yourself. And all his teaching leads to seeing it and giving thanks with him. Take a deep breath. I want to come back to the beginning of that. Can you all feel the vibration of the words? Can you feel it? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Beautiful. So here's the deal. The very beginning, the first line is huge. I was watching another scope today, and they were talking about doing as Jesus does and all that stuff. Wow, that was just right onto your life. Good. And here, thank you, Jen. And they were talking about kind of what Jesus did and forgiving. And if you're a follower of A Course in Miracles, you don't have to believe in Jesus or not, but we basically do believe that this is channel material from Jesus. But we're coming back to this. I want you to really get this. Can you even imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? You know, so many people that we're holding in judgment, so many people that are the rats of society, the ones everyone's pushing away because they're bad or because they're this or that or whatever. And if we could forgive them for being who they are, or even in your life, if someone did something wrong to you, instead of keeping them in prison with your judgment, if you can finally just go, I forgive you. And if you have true forgiveness, and true forgiveness is realizing that nothing bad ever really happened, because you can never forgive. The person you forgive, they look at you, their soul is revealed. Their soul is revealed. Think about the murderers whose families of the murder victim forgive the murderer. This is what we're talking about here. We're talking about real forgiveness. I did that recently, and it was a great feeling. Good for you, Chelsea. And for yourself, when you truly forgive someone, that's exactly right. I forget those who do wrong unto me, and love God. That's exactly right. Resentment is a big weight that we carry. That's totally true. All right, let's keep. Anyone else want to say anything on the phone? I'm glad, Justin. Good. Okay. It has to be taught from the start. That's right, Sammy. But you know what? It can be start right in this moment, in the holy instant of this moment. We can get it. We can get it. Hey, Atlantic Fools. We're just reading from A Course in Miracles. So just come and join us, and we're reading some beautiful material about forgiveness. So here we go. This is chapter 2. So he goes on, he says, this loveliness, the loveliness that we see in the people that we forgive, this loveliness is not a fantasy. It is the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. This is what happens once we forgive. When we forgive, because we see beyond the issue or what we've been putting people under or whatever. We see beyond it all. So it's clean and new and everything's sparkling under the open sun. Nothing is hidden here, for everything has been forgiven, and there are no fantasies to hide the truth. The bridge between that world and this is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe it is the meeting place of the worlds that are so different. So interesting. We think we got to work really hard to forgive. We think that it's a big deal to try to work yourself into this kind of like, okay, I'm going to forgive, I'm going to forgive, I'm going to forgive. Yeah, it's kind of a description of heaven. That's right, Sammy. Here's the deal. The ego goes, oh, my God, how can we do that? It's too much. I'm going to have to, kind of forsake myself to forsake them, and then I'm going to forgive. It's the big whole freaking deal. But right here he says, here's the deal. The bridge between that world and this is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe that it is the meeting place of these two worlds. And then judgment against two coworkers. It's no accident that you're here tonight. No, it's not, Aaron. No, it's not. So it's very easy. The ego will be like, it's really hard. You got to figure it out. You got to forgive. No, it's not. It's all easy. It's actually easy. Okay. This little step, so small that it has escaped your notice, is a stride through time into eternity, beyond all ugliness into beauty, that will enchant you and will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection. Let's say that again. This little step, this little thing called forgiveness, it's little. When you truly do it, it's very little. This little step is so small it has escaped your notice. It is a stride through time, but into eternity, beyond all ugliness, into beauty, that will enchant you and will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection. So really, there's another part of A Course in Miracles where he says, listen. He doesn't say listen, I say listen. He says, forgiveness is the key to heaven. To happiness. And it's so simple. And it really does bring us to that place of, wow, amazement and wonder and back to our true self, which is completely curious, which is completely full of wonder in the world, and we can be there instead of being cynical, instead of holding other people accountable or whatever. This is tough work in a way, but it's actually very easy. So Jen says, within each of us is two wolves. Okay, I always say that. Same idea. Okay. Anyone on the phone want to say anything about what we've been reading? Thank you, Chelsea. Let me just pause 1 second. Chelsea, it's kind of crazy how quickly you move on after you forgive. That's right. Thank you. Sparkle or Dell or, wait, who else is on? I just blew my mind. On the phone?
Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca, sorry. And Rebecca, do you want to say anything about this forgiveness thing? You don't have to. Okay.
Well, this is Dell.
Okay, Dell.
For me, it's just very true. Forgiving somebody or that person is very healing, in a healing aspect, and would raise your vibration up, as well as your energy, and you have the ability to forgive that person, not the act, but just the person.
Right. Thank you. It's true, and it takes a specific decision to forgive them, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure does. It takes a. We're talking about choose again. You have to choose to forgive. It is a power that we have. We can forgive. We can choose to forgive. And it's always not always such an easy process as far as like getting to that point. But once you get there, the ladies on the phone, they call in just so you. This is the speaker. There's an option in this. Just so all you know, the people that are on the show on the phone, there's a couple of people that are in there that are watching also. That you can actually call in on the phone and we can hear you. The phone number. So, okay? Yeah, that's right. And Sparkle says, no, you can call in, they call in, and you can't. All right, so let's move on. Okay. Oh, wait. Is there anyone on the scope that wants to talk about forgiveness? There were a couple beautiful things. Chelsea, you were talking about it. It's amazing. You said amazing how once you forgive, how easy it is to move on. Right, Chelsea? Or anyone have questions or challenges with forgiveness? Yeah, you did.
I have a question, Max.
Yeah, sure.
The part about wonderment, I wasn't clear on that exactly.
Okay. So what? Let me just read this. The ending of this part. He says, "This little step, which means forgiveness, right, is so small it has escaped your notice." So it's so small. It's so actually easy, but it's a stride through time into eternity. So you go away from this space and time into eternity, where everything is love. So it goes beyond all ugliness, which is the ugliness is judgment and blame and anger and guilt and all that stuff. When you forgive, you go beyond all that into beauty that will enchant you, the beauty of life, the wonderment of life, and it will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection. So it's so amazing how beautiful you go back to being more like a little child. When you forgive, something in you says, oh my gosh, life is beautiful. Life's amazing. Does that make more sense, Rebecca?
Totally. I get it now. Thank you.
Get it? You're welcome. And I love that. I come back to that. Thank you. I think that's important. What Jesus says and what so many religious teachings say is, be ye as a little child. Come back to your childish enthusiasm. Come back to being a child. Because you're just seeing people like, yeah, whatever, they made a mistake. Anyway, blah. And it's wonderful. Life is such an amazing, beautiful gift. So, I love it. Okay, so he goes on to say, and welcome to all of you new people. The challenge is to forgive and see the beauty within the moment when we find someone to forgive. That's exactly right, Leslie. That's a challenge. Hey, Karen, how many times can you forgive the same person? You can forgive them as long as you want to. Do people constantly hurt you? You see forgiveness as weakness, making it easier to hurt you more. So this is, okay, all those questions just right now, that's right. You just, 70 times 70. Thank you, Sparkle. You just keep forgiving. That's it. And some people would say, you're a doormat. But you don't have to have them in your life. You don't have to have them over for dinner. You don't have to be like, oh, now I want to marry you. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being able to be like, we're not forgiving them. We're seeing beyond their problem, really. Sometimes I have a hard time with self-forgiveness. Yeah, and that's where it all begins, really. To really realize, to forgive yourself is to really realize nothing's really wrong anyway. And here's the deal. Because here's the deal. We don't look at the form. What if the person is your own family? Yeah, it's usually your family, Bobby. It's usually your family that you have to forgive. In this lifetime, saying, hey, I'm going to challenge you to see how much you can remember that we're all God. How much can you remember that actually, and here's the deal, it's about the form. It's about the form. We get caught up in the form. And the form is the people's personality. That's not who they are. Who they are is the light of God. Who they are is perfect. I get that, Justin. Here's the deal. You forgive their actions, but you don't stay around them. That's okay. You have to take care of yourself. We're not saying be a total doormat, but you have to just keep forgiving them until you really realize, and there's something that happens here. And I'm sorry I'm missing. I know it's hard. I'm missing comments, but I want to kind of stay on this for a second. I know it's hard, but something happens. And you keep going, I'm going to choose not to see that. I'm going to choose to see your light. I'm going to choose not to see that. I'm going to choose to see your light. First of all, and the other thing is that you're already saying that that's a bad thing. They're just doing what they're doing. Allow them to do it. If it doesn't match for you, move away. And then you can still see that they are the light of God. You can still see they're the light of God, but you don't have to be with them all the time. Okay? Thank you. Practice. It gets easier. Thank you. You promised. Thank you. It does get easier. And true forgiveness is realizing there's nothing to forgive. True forgiveness is realizing there's nothing to forgive. What they are doing is a reflection of who they are. That actually is completely the opposite of what the Course in Miracles would say, Aaron. It would say that what they're doing is exactly what you're projecting so you can learn. You've only created them. What they are and what they're doing is part of you. So as they're doing that thing, you're being challenged. When you're being challenged, it means this is your learning point. This is what you've created so that you can forgive more, forgive yourself, and see beyond it all, to see beyond it all. And that's a very different point of view. The Course in Miracles is very different that way. If someone is fighting with you, though, there should be a point where you defend yourself. Well, actually, you can to state the truth, but defending, when you defend, it actually creates more of the attack. So, I would say this. You state the truth. You state the truth, but you don't defend. That's right. It's all about self-forgiveness. So, it comes to a point where those things matter so little to you, there's nothing to talk about. That's so true, Chelsea. So true. In the Course in Miracles, it says you create what you defend against. So when you start to defend against these people, then how do we keep from being a doormat? You allow them to be what they are and don't try to change them. That's all. You just go, oh, that's what they're doing. And I see that they're a child of God just like I am. Thank you, Marcy. I actually thought you were. So that's good. So here's the deal. Who cares if you're a freaking doormat? You have decided that a doormat is a bad thing. You know who is one of the biggest doormats of all time? Jesus! Isn't that true? Oh my God, I just thought about that. Jesus was one of the biggest doormats of all time. Gandhi is one of the biggest doormats of all time. And probably the Dalai Lama is the biggest doormat. The Pope is a big doormat.
Yeah.
Hello? But we have this thing like, oh, I've got to defend myself. I have to stand up for my rights. And if I yourself and you just state the truth, you don't have to do that. There are requests, demands that I can't always do. That's okay. Mother Teresa was the biggest frickin' doormat. Hello? So, and you know what? I have to say this. I mean, we're going to making fun of it, and it's good to have humor. But here's the deal. This work is not self-help. It's not like, oh, I'm going to read this. No. It's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you to go to the deep place. It's going to challenge you to say, oh, boy, I have to really say, what are those people doing that I think is going to threaten me? The strongest people in the world just stand there and just go, okay, sure, great. That's right. That's why we have something called war. War is all based on, if I don't stand up and say I'm right, then everything's going to go to hell. And war leaves everyone, an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. That's it. That's it. There you go. Wow, I just preached for a moment there. I'm going to take a big deep breath. Thank you, Sparkle. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. All right. Thank you. And here's the deal. Thank you, everyone. Gosh, there's only so much of this stuff that we can read where it's about ego, because there's so much in this book, in this teaching, that it's only so much I can read. We're not even halfway through it. But and your comments, though. But I think that you're getting what I'm talking about. Is there anything? You just had a breakthrough, Jen. Max, you hit the situation right in the head. Thanks so much, everyone who commented. I'm so glad, Justin. Good. Let's hear about Jen's breakthrough. Let's hear about that. And then I'm going to go to the phone lines and see what people are saying. Jen, can you tell us what your breakthrough was? Yay. Dell says yay. Thank you for all the hearts, everyone. And if you're just joining the cast, you can tell, this cast, the show, the podcast, whatever we're doing here, that we're talking about A Course in Miracles, and we're talking about the power of forgiveness, and we're talking about how to have peace in your life. That's what we're doing here. And one positive, and focus on that. Oh, my God, that's so true. Is that your big aha, Jen? Just find one positive. Focus on that. That's true. Because I guarantee you know what? I'm going to come back to Hitler. Hitler was somebody's little baby sweet boy at one time. Hitler's mommy, I don't know Hitler's story, so I'm not going to get into that crap. But from a philosophical point of view, metaphorical point of view, Hitler was a mommy's little boy at some point. We are being asked, that's what we're being asked to be, to say, oh, you know what? He was. And that's okay. Something went wrong, but that's okay. Yes, the person I have trouble forgiving truly loves his daughter. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad, Tempa. Good. This is what it's about. Tempa, did you look at that coaching thing? Just came to me. So, can you repeat the statement about how the offense is a reflection? Hello, Sasha. It's so good to see you, and I'm so glad that you're here. So glad you're here. About the defense is a reflection. Here's the deal. We create what we defend against. That's what we're talking about. We create what we defend against. So when we push against something, when we say, stop being so horrible, or I'm going to stand up for myself, you actually are creating more of the crap because You make the attack real. You make the attack real. Does that make sense? And Sasha, I'm so glad that you're here. I just wanted to say thank you. Namaste to you. Does that make sense to you? Is that what you were talking about when you asked the question? The work that we're doing here, understand the phrase, what you resist persists. That's right. That's it. I'm explaining this point to my husband. I'm so glad, Marcy. Good. Yes, giving it merit. When you give it merit, when you give it meaning, what they're doing, then ultimately you're creating a reality of it. But if you keep going, that doesn't mean anything, then it doesn't mean anything. One of the very first lessons in A Course in Miracles is you're giving everything the meaning it has for you. That's right. This is like a lesson on life. PJ, do you understand why The Course in Miracles is my favorite book of all time, my favorite teaching? I come back to it over and over and over again. That's why. That's why. So good. All right. We're about 10 more minutes. It fuels it by acknowledging it. That's exactly it. When you defend against something, you're actually making the attacker real. Okay? If I don't acknowledge it, it's not real. Is that right? You can see it, and then you can say, oh, but that's the illusion. This is what you need to remember. Only love is real. That's it. Only love is real. Anything that's not of love, that's of competition, that's of anger, that's of sacrifice, is literally it's not real from a spiritual perspective. And we want to live from the spiritual perspective. I'm sorry I got here late, Miss Grace. It's okay, Bobby. It's great to see you. Great to see you. And always watch the Only Love is Real. Thank you. Good vibe. We love that. So only love is real. Only love is real. And that sounds like just a platitude until you do the work. And when you do the work, you go, oh, it is real. Only love is real. Rebecca. Oh, I love that name. Rebecca. That's great. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. And thank you for all of those hearts, everyone. All right. Anyone on the phone want to say anything while we're stopping? I will definitely. I'm going to read one more little piece.
Go ahead, read. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to hear more.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Good to be here. Welcome. All right. We're going to go on a little bit and read. We have about 7 more minutes. Thanks so much. I figured out your advice through constant pain. It's great to hear. And sometimes, the Course in Miracles would say you can learn through pain or you can learn through love. It's your choice. But until you learn the stuff, you kind of always learn through pain. So, good to see. I mean, it's good to hear that stuff. Here we go. So he's talking about how, okay, let me just go, let's go back. This step, the smallest, God, okay. We haven't even read much of it. Okay, so we stopped at the wonderment of all its perfection. So, here, Coach Bibi, hold on a second. I'll talk about that in a second. Can you just remember to ask me that at the end? Okay, here we go. We're talking about the incredible empowerment of when you forgive, what happens to your perception and everything that happens. So he says this step, the smallest ever taken, is still the greatest accomplishment of all in God's plan for the atonement. I'm going to say this again. This step, which means forgiving your brother, forgiving the situation, forgiving yourself, this smallest step ever taken is still the greatest accomplishment of all in God's plan of atonement. And let me say this really quickly. The atonement is the healing of yourself to come back to the source. We are separated from God. We're separated from the source. We're separated from whatever you call that. So, really, the greatest accomplishment is forgiveness. But this is given, complete and wholly perfect. We're given the capacity to forgive. We are completely given the capacity to forgive. How often are we choosing it? ourselves, others, the world, anything. No one but him who planned salvation could complete it thus. The real world, in this loveliness, you learned to reach. Fantasies are all undone and no fantasies, I'm just paraphrasing here. And by your own forgiveness, you're set free. Yet what you see is only what you made, with the blessing of your forgiveness on it. And with this final blessing of God's Son upon himself, the real perception, born of new perspective, he has learned, has served its purpose. I got to read the rest. I have to read not the rest, but I have to read this. Okay, I know that some of this might get a little confusing, but just stick with me, just stick with me. So I'll read this again. And with this final blessing of God's Son upon himself, the real perception, born of new perspective, he has learned, has served its purpose. The stars will disappear in light, and the sun that opened up the world to beauty will vanish. Perception will be meaningless when it has been perfected. For everything that has been used for learning will have no function. Nothing will ever change, no shifts nor shadings nor differences, no variation that made perception possibly will still occur. Just stick with me on this, just stick with me. Hold on. The perception of the real world will be so short that you will barely have time to thank God for it. For God will take the last step for you swiftly when you have reached the real world and have been made ready for him. Can I get an amen in here? That's a big amen.
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 There's a lot in this. It's just incredible. It's so beautiful. It's very simple, but it's very dense at the same time. And here's the deal. You don't have to get it all right now. But can you feel the vibration of it? Can you feel that? Wow. And remember, what he's talking about here is forgiveness. That's it. When you forgive, you are given the keys to the kingdom. When you forgive, all the stars become one. When you forgive, everything changes. You are literally living heaven on earth when you forgive. You took the words out of my mouth. So deep, but so easy too. My eyes are tearing up. Yeah, so real. It's so real. Good. All right, we're going to wrap up here. I don't like to do any stuff longer an hour. People are going to leave. And here's the deal. There's 27 people in here, and I am just so honored that all of you, not honored for me, but honored for you that you've stuck with this. The forgiveness part is what is needed. That's right. Forgiveness, and you know what? The Course in Miracles will come back to forgiveness over and over and over. And you know what? Whenever, I'm going to say this to you, and then we're going to wrap up. Whenever you're feeling angry, whenever you're feeling frustrated, whenever you're feeling stuck in your life, here's the deal. Ask who you are not forgiving. How would I have got to understand that Jesus don't? Oh, shoot. No, it went away. Darn it. I want to say that again. Here's the deal. Jen, can you say that again? It's why I'm here and totally worth it. Oh, I'm so glad, Karen. I'm so glad. Here's the deal. Whenever you are not in your right mind, here's the deal. Ask, who are you not forgiving? What are you not forgiving? So unless you forgive, you're separated from separated. We're not separate. The ego wants to keep us separate. The ego wants to keep us separate. But we can make the choice to have the atonement, which is coming back together with our brothers and our sisters and our divine source. Jen, if you want to retype that, that would be great. I think I missed that, and it was pretty big. Now we're going to wrap up. All right. Oh, have I gone through my whole life thinking thinking can be close to Jesus if I don't forgive. That's right. That's right. That's right. How can you be close to Jesus if you don't forgive? Jesus is forgiveness. Mother Mary's forgiveness. The Dalai Lama is forgiveness. Gandhi is forgiveness. It's all forgiveness. That's what it's about. And we're really being asked to live at that level, if we can do it. And we can do it. So we are. As you do unto others, do unto yourself. All right. Like I had a mega breakthrough tonight. Yay, Marcy. Very good. Love it. Okay. Good. All right. So Sparkle and Rebecca and Dell on the phone. We're going to wrap up here. We will say a prayer, but I want to hear from the ladies on the phone first, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Can't thank you enough for this. You're so welcome, Jen. You're so welcome. All right. So Sparkle and Jen and Rebecca, Dell and Rebecca, what would you like to say that you're taking away from today? I'm going to pick on you first. Rebecca, what did you take from today? What stood out for you?
Now I know why I called. It's so applicable, and it's so beautiful what you were saying. So it's so simple, but like you said, there's a lot to it. But I get it, and it makes sense, and thank you, Max.
You're welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here. And you know what? Sometimes it's just like, wow, whatever that was, it worked. Right? Right? Good. All right. Dell, what are you taking away from tonight? And everyone stay on the scope because we're going to do a beautiful prayer. Go ahead, Dell.
Yeah, it's actually forgiving yourself and others is the key. And anything else is just an illusion, and it's whatever you put attached to that gives it meaning and power.
Yeah, it's all an illusion other than the love. And when you let go of it, you get it. So, and Jen was just saying some things, and some other people. So we're totally supporting you. Oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Wait.
Bless you.
Okay, Sparkle. Let's hear from you.
Well, I'm taking away the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. In this world, it seems so dark, with the unforgiveness here. Underneath it all, that's what's there, and see beyond that to this the beauty of everything forgiven.
Oh, I love that. I knew that line about sparkling would stand out for you.
Yeah, I had to pick up on that sparkle.
I love it. Good. Great points, ladies. They're all like, yay, you. So good. Okay, so listen, we're going to say a final prayer because I really believe very strongly that prayer is the medium of miracles. We start with a prayer, we end with a prayer, and I just want to tell you all is that if you got any value from the call tonight, if you felt that you had any ahas and you feel that you would like to contribute to our work here today and to my work here today, to pay for my phone bill, to pay for my other phone bill, and to help me with my work, then I would encourage you that you could give me donate $10. It's not a requirement, but you can do that through my website. You can either go to my Patreon page and become a patron of mine and give me a little bit of money every month if you want to, or you can go to the ACIM study page on my website, attractpositiveresults.com, and you can donate $10 or whatever you feel the value of my work is for you. I would appreciate that. And, I always have to say that because ask and you shall receive. And this is all I do for work. I just want you all to know I don't have another job. I don't do anything else. This is what I do for work. And so if you feel moved to donate, I would greatly appreciate that. So let me keep doing what I love to do, share this. Say a big prayer and shut our eyes. Take a deep breath. Dear Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, Universe, all that is, we come together today we've come together today with our open minds and our open hearts and our open spirits, and we thank you so much for this time together. We thank you so much for the revelations we've had, for the confirmations we've had, and to have the reminder that really forgiveness is the key to happiness. Of when we are not forgiven. And we ask the Holy Spirit, God, Source, the Divine, to really allow ourselves to forgive those people, those situations, and of course, to forgive ourselves a little bit more. And we see everyone here full of light, full of love, full of joy, as we project that this week could possibly be one of the best, most forgiving, and light-filled weeks of their lives. We take a big, deep breath, and we say, thank you very much. So it is.
Thank you so much.
And so it is.
So it is. Babe, thank you so much, everyone. All right, some people just came onto the scope, and you'll have to, go back and watch, but we talked all about forgiveness. It was just a beautiful, beautiful night. And really, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for using your data plan with me, and I'm just honored that you're all here. And I hope that you really did walk away with a shift in your perception on some level, because, of course, the Miracles always says that, a miracle is a shift in your perception. So here's to shifting your perception. Thank you, everyone, for spending the time. You're welcome. You're welcome, Justin. You're welcome, everyone. Good night, good night, good night, good night. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, and sorry for people that are just coming in. We're just wrapping up. If you'd like to have a really cool session about A Course in Miracles, you can watch the replay. You're giving me a lot to think about. I'm so glad. Good night, everyone. Good night. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Actually, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we do meditation. So if you're interested in getting your day off or what, have to do some meditation. It really is beautiful. So, thank you, everybody. Sending you lots of love. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay, you all. That was fun, right?
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you. Do you all want to say anything before we hang up?
Max, do you have an address that we can contact you from? Or
email? The email?
Mail? Pardon?
Yeah. The email is, well, actually, you know what? You can send a note on my contact page on the website.
Oh, okay.
You know my website?
Yeah. Okay.
Go to, on the trackpositiveresults.com, this is just easier for you. Just go there. There's a contact page, and just send me a note through there, and I'll get it for sure. It's easy.